Mercury in Astrology Explained, Occult Symbolism and Deeper Truth. In the early history of mankind, planets were regarded as human beings, connected with daily life, influencing man's existence in some mysterious way and controlling their destiny. They were ancestors, heroes, and benefactors who, after a life on Earth, were transported to the heavens, where they continue to rule over earthly affairs. Basis of mythology is the worship of the solar Great Father, the lunar Great Mother, and all the celestial bodies. In many ancient cultures, Mercury was thought to be a supernatural entity or deity, such as Nabu in Mesopotamia, Thoth in ancient Egypt, Budh in India, Hermes in Greece, and Mercurius in Rome. Mercury is often associated with communication, negotiation, intelligence, and commerce, while also embodying the quick, adaptable, and dualistic energies of the mind in metaphysical contexts. Additionally, the planet Mercury is recognized for its archetype as messenger for the gods. Key aspects include quick wit, curiosity, analytical ability, but also potential for being cunning as seen in the trickster aspects of the deity. This archetype connects conscious and unconscious thoughts and influences how we process, transfer, and share information. In occult astrology and mythology, the planet Mercury symbolizes connections between worlds, influencing thought patterns, writing, and short-distance transport, reflecting its mythological role as a swift and sly guide through different realms and the underworld. It is linked to the throat chakra or Vishuddha and the halasana plow pose in yoga. This can help balance the communicative and intellectual aspects governed by Mercury. In esoteric traditions, Mercury embodies the thinker or reincarnating ego and served as a psychopomp, guiding souls through death, rebirth, sleep, and dreams. It is connected with magic, initiation, and the acquisition of knowledge. Symbolically, Mercury represents the soul in alchemical traditions and stands between the sun and the moon, merging solar and lunar elements. Mercurian energy is invoked in various magical disciplines and tarot, where it corresponds with powerful forces of change such as the Lover's card. In astrology, Mercury represents mental agility, flexibility, and the ability to analyze and articulate ideas clearly. Mercury rules the sign of Gemini and is exalted in Virgo. For example, Mercury in Gemini shows intelligence, quick-wittedness, curiosity, and excellent communication skills. These individuals tend to have a sharp analytical mind focused on gathering and sharing information through talking, writing, and other forms of expression. Each Mercury sign offers a clear view into your inner warrior and motivator. It is the natural ruler of the third house in Gemini, governing communication, learning, siblings, short trips, and mental activities. It represents how one processes information and interacts with their immediate environment. Mercury also rules the sixth house in Virgo, relating to daily work, health, service, and routine tasks. It emphasizes attention to detail, organization, and practical communication related to one's duties and well-being. Mercury position in the zodiac and its aspects to other planets influence how its energy is expressed in an individual's life and chart. Mercury stays in each sign of the zodiac for roughly 2 weeks. Knowing your Mercury sign offers deep insight into transformation, adaptability, and balance between opposites such as intellect and intuition. Its energy encourages clarity of thought, flexibility, and the graceful navigation of challenges. Mercury is associated with Wednesday. The word Wednesday comes from the Old English word Wodennesdag, which means Woden's Day. Woden, also known as Odin, is the chief god in Anglo-Saxon and Norse mythology. Wednesday is the English equivalent of the Latin Dies Mercuri, meaning Day of Mercury, with Woden being identified with the Roman god Mercury due to their similar attributes. In Romance languages is Miercuri in Romanian, Mercredi in French, Miércoles in Spanish, and Mercoledì in Italian. In Chinese astrology, Mercury is identified as the water star Xiuxing and symbolizes fluidity, adaptability, intuition, and wisdom. Water, linked to Mercury, is connected to the north direction, the color black, and the winter season. It represents qualities like diplomacy, persuasiveness, and sensitivity. In Jyotish, Vedic astrology of India, Mercury is Budh, graha. The word Budh literally means to know, to understand, to awaken, or to be conscious, in Sanskrit. Budh Mercury plays a significant role in Vedic astrological charts, representing intellect, analytical ability, speech, and the connection between sensory input and meaningful understanding. Mercury is a Rajasic planet in Jyotish. Mercury movement through the Nakshatras, lunar mansions, symbolizes action, transformation, desire, and dynamic energy. Here's a summary of Mercury interpretation and meanings in astrology. Western astrology, tropical. Mercury symbolizes communication, intellect, and mental agility. It is considered the planet of ideas, learning, short journeys, commerce, and social interaction. Sidereal astrology, Vedic. In Sidereal astrology, which is closely aligned with Vedic astrology principles, Mercury represents the awakened and discriminating intellect that helps distinguish between good and bad ideas, facilitating clear thinking and effective communication. In the birth chart, Mercury influences areas related to the nervous system and the chest. This alignment makes Budh's sign in a sidereal chart different from a tropical one, reflecting the current rather than an ancient celestial position. The sidereal system, often used in Vedic astrology, accounts for the precession of the equinoxes, which has caused the two zodiac systems to drift apart over time. It carries a more astronomical basis and incorporates wider cosmic influences such as lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu, and Nakshatras, lunar mansions. The sidereal system emphasizes the physical reality of celestial positions, considered crucial for precise predictions and remedies, within a system that integrates karmic and dharmic concepts unique to Vedic thought. In Vedic astrology there are also time cycles called dasha and antardasha, periods of life ruled by a planet, Mercury in this case, highlighting potential challenges and results related to its transits and aspects. Both systems view Mercury as a symbol of communication, commerce, and intellect, though the sidereal approach is more astronomically exact and tied to Vedic philosophy, while tropical astrology emphasizes psychological identity and seasonal symbolism. The modern glyph, a crescent above a circle over a cross, comes from the Renaissance and is the alchemy symbol for the element Mercury, but also the mind and the quicksilver quality of fluidity and transformation. The glyph can have multiple meanings. Circle represents the sun or the essence. Cross symbolizes matter or the earthly realm. Crescent represents the moon or the soul. The first matter, as one of the three primary substances of alchemy, along with sulfur and salt, Mercury was considered the universal agent of transformation, the animating spirit in all matter. Mercury is also incredibly important in a practice known as astral medicine or medical astrology. In medical astrology, Mercury rules the brain, nervous system, respiratory system, and sense organs. A strong Mercury indicates intellect, sharp communication, and a healthy nervous system and skin. People with a strong Mercury are typically quick thinkers, articulate, and good at problem solving. An afflicted Mercury in a birth chart is associated with potential health issues like nervous breakdowns, mental instability, speech defects, and skin problems. Mercury also rules the physical qualities of the plasma and connects to body parts such as the hands, mouth, throat, and skin. In Ayurveda, Budh represents the air element and is strongly associated with the Vata dosha, body type, but it is also a 3-dhatu planet, meaning it can take on the qualities of the other doshas, Pitta and Kapha, based on its planetary associations. To manage Mercury's influence, it's important to improve communication, avoid harsh language, and work on developing better public speaking and writing skills. Favor green foods to include more green leafy vegetables, green lentils, and fresh herbs in your diet. Astrological considerations. In Vedic astrology, Mercury is also a symbol for dexterity, logical reasoning and decision-making. It is considered beneficial, especially when well placed, bringing clarity, business acumen, and eloquence. By understanding Mercury's influence in one's birth chart, individuals can take preventative measures to support their health and well-being, focusing on healthy practices and addressing potential issues indicated by its placement. The occult meanings of Mercury highlight its role as the watcher over the earth, the great instructor, and the conductor of souls, representing intellectual awakening and psychic energy. Esoterically, Mercury is closely tied to the concept of divine law, universal balance, and the unfolding of mysteries through mental and mystical insight. In occult astrology, Mercury is considered not just a physical celestial body, but a cosmic and transcendental force that shapes the inner self and connects our earthly experience to the absolute. Interpretation in Sidereal and Tropical Astrology. Sidereal Astrology, Vedic. Mercury placement by zodiac sign in the Sidereal Astrology, specifically Vedic Jyotish natal chart, reveals how the soul's core qualities manifest through personality, behavior, and life purpose. Mercury in Aries, Mesha, quick, sharp intellect but impulsive, assertive in communication. Mercury in Taurus, Vrishaba, practical, methodical thinker with good financial sense. Mercury in Gemini, Mithuna, Mercury strong here, highly intellectual, communicative, versatile, and adaptable. Mercury in Cancer, Karka, emotionally sensitive intellect, intuitive but sometimes indecisive. Mercury in Leo, Simha, confident, creative thinker with a flair for dramatic expression. Mercury in Virgo, Kanya, Mercury is exalted in this sign, very analytical, detail-oriented, excellent at reasoning and precision. Mercury in Libra, Tula, diplomatic, fair-minded, and balanced in communication and relationships. Mercury in Scorpio, Vrishika, deep, investigative thinker, intense and secretive communication style. Mercury in Sagittarius, Danu, philosophical and broad-minded but may overlook details. Mercury in Capricorn, Makar, practical, disciplined, and career-focused intellect. Mercury in Aquarius, Kumbha, innovative, original thinker with humanitarian concerns. Mercury in Pisces, Meena, Mercury is debilitated in this sign, imaginative and intuitive, but prone to confusion and unclear communication. Understanding Mercury's position within one's Vedic chart offers profound insight into our core identity, leadership potential, health, and how we radiate life energy into the world. Tropical Astrology. Mercury in tropical astrology governs how individuals process information, express thoughts, and engage in social interactions, modifying these qualities according to the characteristics of each zodiac sign. Mercury in Aries. Quick, direct, and assertive communicator who makes fast decisions. He can be impatient and likes to discuss. Mercury in Taurus. Thoughtful, practical, and steady thinker. It communicates in a calm, deliberate manner and relies on sensory experience. Mercury in Gemini, exceptionally adaptable, curious, and witty. He loves variety and is skillful in gathering and sharing information. Mercury in Cancer, emotionally sensitive. Communication is influenced by feelings and intuition rather than pure logic. Mercury in Leo, confident and dramatic in speech. It enjoys expressing itself creatively and capturing attention. Mercury in Virgo, analytical, detail-oriented, and precise, excellent at problem-solving and clear communication. Mercury in Libra, diplomatic, tactful, and balanced communicator. Skilled in negotiation and seeking harmony in conversations. Mercury in Scorpio, deep, intense thinker. It communicates with passion and probes beneath the surface for hidden truths. Mercury in Sagittarius, philosophical and open-minded. He loves discussing big ideas but may overlook details or practicalities. Mercury in Capricorn, practical, disciplined, and goal-oriented. He communicates in a structured, serious manner. Mercury in Aquarius, innovative, original, and forward-thinking. It values progressive ideas and unconventional thinking. Mercury in Pisces, dreamy, intuitive, and imaginative, but may struggle with clarity and directness in communication. Mercury's occult meanings converge on intellect, communication, and pragmatism, with sidereal astrology incorporating a cosmic and karmic realism, whereas Western astrology frames it in terms of symbolic, psychological, and seasonal cycles within the tropical year. These interpretations align with syncretic, occult, and esoteric traditions, viewing Mercury as a catalyst for action and transformation. These occult perspectives deepen the understanding of Mercury in personal charts by viewing it as a guide to higher purpose, enlightenment, and the integration of the self with divine consciousness, thus enhancing astrology's role as a tool for mystical evolution rather than just personality analysis. What do you think of the role of Mercury in astrology? Let us know in the comments, subscribe, and share the video with every person you know. Stay tuned for upcoming courses, tarot readings, new alternative research, and more. See you on the next one.